While making my 2D game, I made a lot of mistakes. Some of them were small, but some of them wasted a lot of my time. So in this video, I am going to show you 5 mistakes I made while making my 2D game. Maybe these mistakes can also help other beginner game developers too. The first mistake happened when I was building the combat system. At the very beginning, I really didn't know how the combat should work. I kept thinking about how enemies should take damage. Should the player damage enemies directly, or should the weapon deal damage? I spent some time thinking about different ideas, but I still was confused. Later, I finally got an idea. Instead of making something complicated, I decided to add hit points to the knives. So whenever the knife hits an enemy, the enemy's health decreases. This simple idea helped me finally complete the combat system. Sometimes simple solutions work much better than the complicated ones. But after solving that problem, another issue appeared. After adding enemies to the game, I started testing them. But something strange happened. The enemy was not moving at all. It just stayed in the same place. So I started checking everything. First, I checked the scripts. Then I checked the animations. Then I checked the movement logic again. Everything looked correct, but the enemy still didn't move. I spent quite a lot of time trying to figure out what was wrong. Then I realized something very simple. I forgot to add a rigid body component to the enemy. After adding the rigid body component, the enemy finally started moving normally. It was a very small mistake, but it confused me for a long time. After fixing the enemy movement, I faced another small challenge. This time it was about the camera. At first, I didn't know where to place the camera or how it should behave. Should it follow the player? Should it move smoothly? Or should it stay fixed? I tried thinking about different ideas, but it started becoming complicated. So instead of making it complicated, so I decided to keep the camera constant. And honestly, that worked much better for my game. Once the camera was working properly, I noticed another small issue in the UI. This time, it was the health bar. When the player health reached 0, the health bar didn't disappear completely. Instead, there was still a very small dot visible. At first, I didn't understand why that was happening. After checking the UI settings, I realized that the fill area was still active even when the value reached 0. So I fixed the problem by turning off the fill area when the health bar reaches 0. After that, the health bar finally worked normal. But not every mistake I made was a technical problem. Some of them were related to game design. At one point, I created a health pack system for the game. The idea was the player could collect health packs to restore the health during gameplay. I spent some time creating that feature. But after testing the game more, I realized something. The game actually worked better without health packs. The game felt cleaner and more balanced. So I decided to remove that system completely. At first, it felt strange to delete something that I spent time building, but sometimes removing features actually makes the game better. So these are the some of the mistakes I made while developing my 2D game. Even though they were frustrating at the time, they helped me learn a lot about game development. And step by step, the game is getting better. And if you want to follow my game development journey, just stay tuned to this channel. And thank you for watching.